Listen, Mr. Councilman,
Don't even talk to me about my day. Okay, we're on.
we're on? Okay. I saw her somewhere. Need her in the chamber, no? Yeah, be waiting. Council member, wasn't council member that? Yeah.
She was just in here.
She went to the bathroom. Gotta wait for her to start, right?
Yes. Let's be the form to
See her.
sure.
Many comments, many,
Four.
I'm just gonna speak to. Can we? Okay, call to order.
Ms. De La Vega? Ms. Perez is absent. Mr. Rodriguez?
Here, present.
Mr. Tundidor is absent. Mr. Zogby?
Present.
Mr. Junco?
Present.
Mr. President, you have enough members to conduct business.
Great. Could I please have the invocation? You?
Lord, we pray for your continued blessing upon our city, its residents, employees, mayor, and council. Amen.
United States of America, to the republic for one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Recording in progress.
The following guidelines have been established by the city council. All lobbyists must register with the city clerk. As a courtesy to others, please refrain from using cellular telephones or other similar electronic devices in the council chamber. A maximum of 3 speakers in favor and 3 speakers in opposition will be allowed to address the council on any one item. Each speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes. No signs or placards in support of or in opposition to an item or speaker shall be permitted within the council chamber. Any person, whether participating via the web platform, telephonic conferencing, or physical presence at City Hall, interested in making comments or posing questions on matters of public concern or on any item on the agenda may do so during the meeting. Members of the public may address the city council on any item pertaining to city business during the comments and questions portion of the meeting. A member of the public is limited to 1 appearance before the city council, and the speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes. The public can view public meetings on the city's YouTube page.
Any presentations?
No, sir.
Open for comments and questions?
The first registered speaker is Justa Azi with a video.
Hi, that's my mom there. I'll say 788 Southeast Park Drive. We lived in the same home for 51 years. So we want to show the video how the planning and zoning operates and how the Department of Ethics and Trust told Hialeah that what they're doing is not ethical, but the practice is repeating. So I'm going to come up with suggestions so we'll become an ethical city.
Go ahead and press play, please. We got 2 minutes and 39 seconds.
Del sureste de Hialeah, un grupo de vecinos denuncian que la ciudad fue entregó parte del terreno verde a la empresa que construirá una farmacia en la Marcos y 10, justo al frente. y aseguran que no les informaron del cambio. Pedimos explicaciones a la ciudad.
Bueno, yo creo que eso es un malentendido, porque lo que la ciudad es que intercambió tierras con los desarrolladores del CIES y entonces la ciudad obtuvo un terreno y les dio una partecita ínfima de lo que es el parque a los desarrolladores. Con el terreno que ellos nos dieron, la ciudad está ganando terreno.
This statement is not true. Three Friends Park has lost land. Según los planos, lo verde es el área del parque actualmente. En naranja está la porción del parque que la ciudad le dio a los urbanizadores a cambio de este otro terreno al noroeste que agregarían al parque y quedaría así.
Del parque se va a mantener el 83% del parque existente y se va a agregar el área que recién obtuvimos.
El área verde nueva tendría 2.588 pies cuadrados más que la anterior.
This statement is not true. Lot 5 has been Hialeah property since 1925. Lot 4 will be a driveway for Navarro.
Al departamento de parque le pareció que era necesario hacer un parque para perros acá.
El pedazo que intercambiaron será para el acceso vehicular de la farmacia. La directora se comprometió a preservar los árboles.
This statement is not true. 3 of the 5 large trees have been removed.
Y dijo que el proceso no fue secreto.
Se publicó en el periódico, se le mandaron tarjetas a los vecinos en el radio de los 500 pies cuadrados y además de eso se colocó un cartel naranja bien visible en la cerca del parque.
Half truth. Only an attorney can understand the language.
Los vecinos dijeron que llevarán este caso al Consejo de Hialeah el próximo 12 de diciembre y que no descartan entablar una demanda contra la ciudad. En Hialeah, María Alicia Sosa, Noticias 23, Televisión.
Thank you. Next comments and question, please.
Mr. Jose Ozzie.
Hi, Jose Alzi, 788 Southeast Park Drive. This is the first example. This came out in front of the Miami-Dade Ethics and Trust, and they told Alexander Magruso, our assistant attorney, twice that what the city is now doing is not ethical. And we repeated this when we leased out Slade Park to that private company. Again, lies were told, not ethical practice. Last month, we approved this waste management practice that went from being unethical to being illegal. And the attorney is my witness that you conduct yourself in illegal practice. So first you went from being unethical and now you're being illegal. So you have this waste management project that you allow them to increase 20% every time they do a traffic study. So in 5 years, this project will be twice as large, 100% as large in 5 years, sorry. Every city is fighting against bringing additional traffic from all over Dade County. Yet we kept this a secret. We even went as far as being illegal. And when you brought up the lobbyists for the waste management, you didn't ask a question. You approved the resolution illegally, and it's still not finalized. You're going to allow 20% to increase every time they do a traffic study. So my question to you, Council President Lewis, why did you not even allow her to present? That she keeps claiming that all the trash is going to be by lid, all the trucks are going to be lidded up, and now it says some of it is going to be allowed to keep track. So why, if something's so important, the city wants to know, right? Everybody is aware of trash projects. Why did you allow this? First, you tried to do it illegally. Now it's going to come up to you again, and you're probably going to keep it hush-hush, not even ask her to present the project. Why you're going above being ethical to being legal? Why aren't you informing the residents such a huge project? That is my
Okay,
question.
I don't have a comment.
First, you participated in something that was unethical. Then you something that was illegal. And the city attorney is my witness. And you don't have a comment? Does anybody have a comment on this? Okay, lobbyist Melissa Tort did not even present it. You did something illegally, and then it's coming to you again. And you don't have a comment of why you're not telling the city basic facts, and you're hiding the fact that it's going to be like no comment. That's what you're going to say is unethical. As told Alexander twice, it doesn't affect you. You've all been told it's not planning and zoning. You all know what you're doing unethical, giving minimal information, such a big project. Why was the city ordinance not followed, giving minimal information? You didn't follow city ordinance.
Through the chair,
Granted.
let the record reflect that we're not answering because it's not that we don't have an answer for you. We will not dignify your false accusations and your ramblings. You couldn't be further from the truth. and you
Okay,
can't-
Mr. Ogilvy, you're really good at this.
Excuse me.
You're the biggest liar. You're really good at
Excuse
this.
me.
I have the floor.
You cannot,
The
you don't have
city
the floor
attorney,
anymore.
the city attorney is my witness.
Can
You
we
could
turn
ask
off the
him,
mic,
right?
Zogby.
You're good at accusing people. I have city attorney as a witness and I have emails as a
Sir,
witness.
sir,
And you all have been
done.
giving copies.
Thank you.
Wait, but I take this back.
No, sir.
Wait.
Done. Thank you. Next.
No, he accused me of saying something lies. He accused me. I want an apology from him. I want an apology because the city attorney is my witness and all the emails. I want an apology.
No,
You will never get that. And let me tell you, you cannot determine somebody is illegal because you are not an attorney in the state.
He is,
Cannot.
he is. So why are we?
Sir,
doing it
you have
again?
done
For the
nothing.
chair-
Through the chair.
1 second. I think all he wants is a presentation of the item. And she's here and the item is on the agenda tonight. Can't she just present it the way that she presented it to everyone?
Through
But
the-
now I want an apology because he lied. He has it on emails and I have the attorney as my witness. I want an apology.
Absolutely not.
Gotcha. So Zog,
Thank you.
okay, so this is the final comment, sir, before we ask you to leave. It's simple.
Wait,
We're not gonna-
he allowed,
Sir,
you have
we're not-
emails,
sir,
I'm saying the truth. You
sir,
have the city
sir.
attorney, I'm saying the truth.
Sir, I'm asking you, please. I'm not gonna engage. with
You're gonna allow him lying even more
Thank you.
when you have
Please. Out. I'm not
Ozzy,
being Ozzy.
Ozzy, she can present it. When the
Sit
item
down.
comes up, she can make the
I
presentation.
deserve an apology.
Here. He just wants to engage. It's not gonna happen this time. Please sit down, sir.
So you're not gonna have him tell me apology after
No.
he lied?
No, sir.
You lied too, you know that,
Yeah.
because you have all this information.
Correct.
You all got emails of it.
Gotcha. Let the, sir, sit down.
That's pretty bad, you know, it's very bad.
That's pretty bad, your accusation. This is what you wanted, brother. It always gets like that.
What I wanted, you guys lied and you don't admit it?
Sir, one more time, sit down.
Wait, but now you're accusing me this is what I
Sir.
wanted when you have proof?
Zog, that's why we can't engage with this guy. It's not worth it.
Yeah,
Sit down, please.
can't dignify him by
Next.
even answering.
Yeah, it's pretty sad when you guys have the truth. You have the attorney could back me up and you don't even bother to ask him if it's true or not. Pretty bad. All right.
Yeah, the questions have already been asked and answered and they've been repeated various times. So there's no reason to prolong it and you can just proceed with the item.
So why is it coming again for the city council meeting? You're bringing it again, right? Just by coincidence, you have to bring it again because it was illegal? Come on, be honest. Why is it coming for a second time after you try to do it illegally the first time? You don't have an answer to that, right?
I'm counting my
Uh,
patience, bro.
I
Give me a second. Sir, one more time, please.
But wait, it's coming up again because he
Guys,
did it
could I ask
illegally the first
the
time.
Council, please, we always know the end result with Ozzy, please. We don't want to form a show again. That's what he's looking for. Thank you.
I'll respond if you want.
Next.
Miss Jessica Castillo.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I am just here to say my name is Jessica Castillo, and I wanted to take advantage of this moment to come and introduce myself as I just turned in my documentation to run for city council. So I just wanted to introduce myself and take this moment and thank you for having me. And this is my first meeting. So thank you
Thank
for
you
your time.
and welcome. Next person.
Edna Morales. Ma'am, I believe you're the applicant on the planning and zoning item. Is that what you want to speak about?
No, it's fine.
You can
It's-
speak when the item's
the item-
called if that's what it's about.
Thank you.
No one else is registered to speak.
Okay, awesome. So announcements or amendment, please. Excuse me. Next item.
Board appointment item 9A has been amended to reflect a full term and not the remainder of a term.
Okay. So do we have, who's gonna be,
So, item 9A,
okay?
proposed resolution
Yeah,
appointing
resolution.
William Marrero to the Personnel Board of the City of Hialeah as the mayor's appointment for a 2-year term ending on July 27th, 2027. So this is being amended to reflect a full 2-year term.
Gotcha. Now I understand. I'm sorry.
Right. That's a minor amendment and you're all required to vote on it. And by the code, you all, it's a mayoral appointment, but you all need to approve it if that is your will.
Okay.
Motion?
Motion. I got a motion. Can I have a second? All right, you got a first and a second.
Mr. Junco? Ms. De La Vega?
No.
Ms. Perez is absent. Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor is absent. Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Motion fails at the pleasure of the council.
So I just wanted to mention for this board appointment, my understanding is that there is several candidates who are running for election now that were taken off of boards, specifically also this board. And so I just don't think that it's right to add another candidate to this board if all the other candidates were removed. So
Okay,
that's why my vote is a no.
thank you.
For the record, the candidates were removed because the previous mayor left and they have to be removed, and then I can appoint whoever I want, not because of any other reason.
Right. So there is a code section, just for your information, that when there is an outgoing mayor, those appointments are, they're deemed vacated when the mayor departs from office. So this is what happened with the series of appointments that have been made by the former mayor, just to clarify.
My vote is still no.
Next item, please.
It's the consent agenda, sir, unless someone wants to pull an item.
Motion.
I got a motion? Can I have a second? Second.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Mr. Junco?
Yes.
Motion carries. The consent agenda has passed.
Right. All right, next item, please.
Administrative item 11A, first reading of proposed ordinance amending ordinance number 2025-059, the ordinance, which calls for scheduling a special primary election to fill the office of City Council, Member Group 3, setting Tuesday, November 4th, 2025 as the date of such election, a special general election runoff to be held on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025, if necessary, and establishing the qualifying period during business hours no earlier than 12 p.m. noon on Monday, July 7th, 2025, and no later than 5 p.m. on Monday, July 28th, 2025, and describing persons qualified to vote in said election, designating and appointing the city clerk as the official city representative with respect to the use of such registration books and records, directing the city clerk to give notice of this ordinance and of its adoption in the manner provided by law, and transmit a certified copy to the Miami-Dade County Supervisor of Elections, providing for the Miami-Dade County Supervisor of Elections to conduct these elections and all other matters related thereto. Attached hereto as Exhibit A, specifically amending Section 2 of the ordinance by removing Section 2.02 subsection C2, temporary vacancy resulting from disability, suspension, court order, or other lawful action, and replacing it with Section 2.02, subsection C1, permanent vacancy resulting from death, resignation, recall, court order, or other lawful action of the City of Hialeah Charter, and to clarify that the candidate elected shall only serve the portion of the term of former council member Group 3, Jacqueline Garcia Roves's term ending on November 5th, 2027, or in the event of the need of a runoff election on December 10th, 2027, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, providing for inclusion in the code, and providing for an effective date.
Motion.
Second.
We have a first and a second.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Mr. Junco?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega? Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 12th, 2025.
Next item, please.
Administrative item 11B, first reading of proposed ordinance submitting to the electorate at the special election conducted during the primary election of the City of Hialeah, occurring in the City of Hialeah, Florida on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, wherein the electors of the City of Hialeah, Florida shall be privileged to vote on the following question. Title: Hialeah City Charter Amendment regarding residency requirements for city board members. Ballot question: shall the city amend the Hialeah Charter to allow non-resident experts to serve on the Personnel Board and other appointive or elective boards, excluding the Planning and Zoning Board, while requiring that a majority of members be resident electors in order to include necessary experts on each board? repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for conduct of the election, form of ballot, absentee ballots, canvassing board, certification of results, registration of voters, polling places, directing the city clerk to cause a certified copy of this ordinance to be delivered to the Miami-Dade County Supervisor of Elections not less than 45 days prior to the special election, providing for inclusion in charter, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, any questions from the council?
Through to the president, if I may.
Yes, please.
So what I think the clerk's summation artfully said exactly what this is, but right now, so under the boards that are in the charter, everybody's an elector. Everybody on the planning and zoning board would continue to be an elector, all members. But for the other boards, let's say, your personnel, your HR board, historic, perhaps other boards, this would give the city the option to still have a majority of the members as electors to those other boards, but you could have a non-elector who falls under an expert qualification that you want. Like you want somebody that knows, let's say, about labor and management and personnel. You want somebody that knows, is a planner on historic, things like that. So for these other boards, you'd still have the majority as city electors, but others could be appointed who had some kind of expertise that the board could benefit by, and they would not necessarily have to be electors. But again, for PZAB for short, they all continue to be electors. That's pretty much it.
Okay, I guess my question will be, we got a motion. If we don't have an expert, does it still continue as a board?
Yes, no. It's just to give the city the option.
Got
So, let's say you want people, maybe an expert was too tight of a definition. Let's say you want somebody on these other boards who is not an elector, but they have special attributes that you think the board could benefit by, but they happen to be in Miami Lakes or, whatever. So you would have the option to appoint those, though the majority would still be electors.
Okay, gotcha. We got a-
Through the chair,
Yes.
Mr. City Attorney. So just to also confirm, right? So they don't have to have the expertise, they don't have to have the title, they don't have to have any, right? They just have to be appointed by the person. So basically, we can put somebody on the board who has no experience on this board
Well,
through this.
the idea is that you, it's said, though I haven't done an official tally of it or anything like that, but the idea is that you would be seeking persons, so the personnel board shall include at least one member who is an expert in the area regulated. So for
Right.
example, for the personnel board, one would be an expert, but the others of the three, some could not be, simply would be people that, let's say, know about personnel or HR issues, but they're not necessarily an expert. So I think the aspiration is that you use them as experts, but I think it would only be required for one. And then others could simply be, they reside somewhere in Dade County, Again, the majority would still have to be city resident electors. Am I being clear?
Yeah, you are. I just, I'm having a hard time with this one just because I feel that, what's the reason that this is coming up? I feel like our boards are so important to us, right? And so Hialeah is a city that is just, first of all, we're unique, right? And so having Hialeah residents on our boards, I think is extremely important because when you reside here, you make the best decisions for our city versus putting people on our boards outside of our city who really don't understand our neighborhoods, who don't really understand our culture. So I find this hard to come by. I'm not even sure why we're even bringing this up. Why is this coming about? Because we have people coming at us all the time asking us to be on boards. So I'm just curious.
So it's a policy and legislative issue for the council and the administration. But put it this way, I don't have any personal knowledge of that, so I couldn't
Okay.
speak to that. But I can tell you that it is something that I have seen in various codes that sometimes when they want to have the ability to have a mix of somebody who they can't find enough people in the city. It could be any city. They can't find,
Almost 300,000 residents here.
right, but someone with specific attributes who wants, like,
Understood.
let's say a historic board, they want a historic planner, or they want a landscape architect. They can't find someone in the city with those attributes. So it's not gonna mandate that
Right.
you have.
No
it's-
mandate.
It's just, it's not gonna mandate it. It's just gonna allow you that option.
Understood.
And still the majority will have to serve. But again, it's ultimately it's policy for council,
Thank you.
Okay,
of course.
we have a motion? Motion. You got a first, we got a first and a second.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes?
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Mr. Junco?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
No.
Motion fails at the pleasure of the council.
So just for the record, so you know, this was something that the previous mayor wanted to pass. He wanted to put it on the ballot. The only thing I did was make a change. I removed the P and Z, planning and zoning, because that's a board that's extremely important. But believe it or not, no matter how many residents we have, most of the time we struggle to be able to find an expert or someone to put on the board. That's the reason why Steve wanted to do it, but that's fine.
I appreciate that comment. I mean, I'll tell you, I have people reaching out to my office all the time to get on board. So if we are struggling right now to get people on boards, I would love to work with your office to fill those vacancies.
Next item, please.
Unfinished business? New business?
And we're, next item, please.
Planning and zoning. Will all those persons who will be testifying on an item, please stand and raise your right hand?
Las personas que quisieran prestar sus opiniones delante de esta junta, por favor, pónganse de pie y alcen la mano derecha.
Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. If so, say I do.
¿Usted jura o afirma que el testimonio que va a dar será la verdad, toda la verdad y únicamente la verdad y que Dios sea su testigo? Por favor, diga que sí si la respuesta es afirmativa.
Let the record reflect that all have responded in the affirmative.
En el archivo público constará que todos han respondido afirmativamente.
Land use item 15A. First reading of proposed ordinance amending the future land use map from low density residential to medium density residential property located at 29 East 16th Street, Hialeah, zoned R2, 1 and 2 family residential district and legally described herein, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Items in first reading, any comments from the council? Can I have a motion, please?
Motion?
Second. We got a first and a second.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes?
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Mr. Junco?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 12th, 2025.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Item 15B will not be heard on today's date. It will be postponed until the city council meeting of August 12th, 2025.
Next item.
Same with item 15C. First reading will not be considered at this time. Item is postponed for the city council meeting of August 12th, 2025.
Okay.
Zoning item 16A. First reading of proposed ordinance rezoning property from R2, 1 and 2 family residential district to R33, multiple family district, granting a variance permit to allow a rear setback of 17 feet where 20 feet are required, and allow an interior west side setback of 4.8 feet where 10 feet are required, allow an interior east side setback of 6.5 feet where 10 feet are required, allow 0 feet drainage separation at the west side of the property where 2 feet drainage separation is required, allow lot coverage of 44% where 30% is the maximum allowed, allow a 3.2-foot setback from the right-of-way for dumpster enclosure where 10 feet is required, and to allow 25% pervious area where 30% is the minimum required. All in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Sections 98-591, 98-590, 3-5 subsection H, 98-316 subsection 3, 78-108 subsection C1, and 98- 2056 subsection B1. Property located at 29 East 16th Street, Hialeah, zoned R2, 1 and 2 family residential district and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Got it. Items for first reading. Any comments or questions from the board?
Motion.
Got a motion? Can I have a second?
Second.
First and a second, please take roll.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Mr. Junco,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega, Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 12th, 2025.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item 16B, first reading of proposed ordinance granting a variance permit to allow a lot width of 50 feet where 75 feet is the minimum required. Allow a total lot area of 6,400 square feet or 7,500 square feet is the minimum required. Allow one of the parking spaces to be located at the front setback where parking in the front setback is not allowed. Allow a 2.6-foot landscape buffer where minimum of 7 feet is required. Allow a 10-foot wide two-way direction access way where a 20-foot wide two-way direction access way is required. And allow 18% pervious area where 20% is the minimum required. All in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, sections 98-779, 98-782, 98-2188, subsection AB, 98-781, subsection 5, and in contrast to the Hialeah Landscape Manual dated December 13th, 2022, section E, entitled Tree and Lawn Requirements by Zoning Classification, property located at 520 East 49th Street, Hialeah, zoned RO, Residential Office District, and legally described in Exhibit A, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Items on first reading. Any comments and questions from the board?
Motion.
Got a motion? Can I have a second?
Second.
Please take roll.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Mr. Junco,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega, Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 12th, 2025.
Next item, please.
Item 16C, first reading of proposed ordinance granting a conditional use permit pursuant to the Hialeah, City of Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Section 98-181, to allow a kindergarten class with a maximum capacity of 26 students, property located at 3300 East 4th Avenue, Units 9 through 10, Hialeah, Zone C2, Liberal Retail Commercial District, and legally described herein, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, items on first reading. Any comments and questions from the board?
Is there representation here on this item? Oh, it was just to make sure there was representation.
Thank you, Council President, council members, city staff. My name is Al Cruz, 16251 Southwest 81st Street, Fire Consulting Group. This is a small daycare that we're trying to convert it to educational classes. As you know, the laws changed after 2018. Therefore, in order to continue receiving the funding, they need to do this. This is limited to 26 children in kindergarten. And we have 2 other bays that are going to be taken care of for daycare. So the entire shopping center will simply be for an educational facility and daycare for curious minds. There's plenty of parking and they've been in existence since 2021.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Can I have a second? I got a first and a second. Please take roll.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Mr. Junco.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 12th, 2025.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item 16D, first reading of proposed ordinance granting a special use permit to allow the expansion of the Neighborhood Business District NBD overlay in relation to a proposed mixed-use development including 32 residential units and approximately 3,520 square feet of commercial space pursuant to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Section 98-161, granting a variance permit to allow 56 parking spaces where 77 parking spaces are required, allow 21% pervious area where 30% is the minimum required, and allow a partial waiver of minimum landscape requirements through landscape mitigation as per Section 98-2235, all in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Section 98-2189, subsection 4J, and 98-2056, subsection B1, properties located at 901 East Second Avenue and 925 East Second Avenue, Hialeah, zoned CR, Commercial Residential District, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay. Claudia. I'm sorry, name and address. I was gonna ask her a question. Thank you. Yeah, your name and address.
Proceed, okay. Good evening. City
No,
of-
just name,
members. My name is Edna Morales Rodriguez.
and then I'll let you make a comment now. Claudia, can you give me up to date the changes that were done, please?
Sure.
Sure.
Claudia Husband, interim finance zoning official. The changes are the reduction in the floor air, in the floor, in the ground floor, the reduction of the retail. So before it used to have 3,000 and change square feet, now it has half of it. So that area is smaller. So
Okay.
now the parking requirements are less. And the other items is that they're proffering for 2 affordable housing units within the project.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Council, I wanted to ask the question before your presentation. I was good with it last time. Yes, ma'am, making any comments? You're good?
Just that we were able to eliminate, not cut the retail in half and make amenities for the residents.
Okay.
That way we don't need that many more parking spaces. We reduced it by over 12 parking spaces that we need. So we went from 677 to 65.
Thank you.
So
Appreciate that.
we're pretty good, and basically that was it. Like she said, we are committing to providing 2 affordable units. After I did the research, I found that it can be done, and financially we can cover it, do the affordable housing for 2 units. And as a matter of fact, I would give preferential to the applications for City Hialeah employees. How's that?
Good. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do we have any comments and questions from the board? Zogby?
Through the chair, how many stories is this project?
Stores down.
Stories,
7.
7 stories. We don't have anything similar to that in the immediate area, that high.
Stories on.
I'm sorry. I apologize from my zoning director. Thank you.
No, sir, there is nothing close to 7 stories.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I don't have any motion, please? Any comments or questions? If not, can I have a motion?
Motion.
Okay, I got a first and a second. Please take roll.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
No.
Mr. Junco?
Yes.
Motion fails at the pleasure of the council. So ma'am, at this time, there's been no action. We can have the council postpone the item to where you have more members.
Okay, so that's why this title is missing.
And Mr. Tumidor as well. And you need 4 votes to get the item approved.
Okay, thank you very
Okay.
much.
You need 4 votes and you have a short board, so let's leave that to the applicant. Do you want this continued to another date?
Tabled.
Table to
suggest
another
we-
date?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Can I have a motion to table? We still need a 4. We still need a.
Well, no, the motion to postpone would be a majority of a quorum.
Okay.
So you would.
The motion to
Three.
postpone is 8. procedural motion. It's just a majority vote. Substantive motions
Got it.
require four, okay? Legal motions.
Can I have a motion to table?
Motion to table.
Okay, I got a first. Can I have a motion to table? Need a second?
Ma'am, is your motion to table till, postpone till the next meeting?
Yes. Till August 12th. we should have-
Motion to postpone until August 12th, 2025. Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
No.
Mr. Junco?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is postponed until August 12th, 2025.
Thank you. Claudia, can you explain to her details, please? Thank you.
Oh, I know. How many excuse me, how many members are there on the city council?
7.
7. So there's only 6 now.
It's not 406.
Yeah,
There's 7 in total.
correct. Yes. Thank you.
No.
Next item.
No,
No.
Actually, the quorum, right now, there are 6. The quorum is 4. But because it's a short board, any of those substantive votes would require in effect unanimous approval. That's why you were being asked if you wanted it tabled, yes.
Which would be the thing.
So, Mr. City Attorney, what happens now? Are they able to come back since the motion did not pass for
We
the table?
postponed it until
Postponed
August
it, okay.
12th, so it'll be back on first reading August 12th.
You postponed it. And anyway, since you asked it, my opinion is that when something doesn't pass, but there's no denial, there hasn't been final action by the
Okay.
council. So the matter is still
Pending.
technically pending,
Okay,
okay?
understood.
If you want something to go away, you have to vote, up or down one way or the other.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Next item, please.
Item 16E, first reading of proposed ordinance granting a special use permit to allow the operation of a solid waste intermodal rail facility in conjunction with the existing solid waste collection operated by Waste Connections of Florida pursuant to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Section 98-161, granting a variance permit to allow the expansion of a legal non-conforming use established within the M1 Industrial District zoning district and allow 6.6% pervious area where 10% is the minimum required. All in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Section 98-377, subsection A, and in contrast to the Hialeah Landscape Manual dated December 13, 2022, Section E, entitled Tree and Lawn Requirements by Zoning Classification. Properties located at 4150 Northwest 37th Court, 4170 Northwest 37th Court, 4180 Northwest 37th Court, 4204 Northwest 37th Court, 3757 Northwest 38th Street, 3828 Northwest 37th Court, 4100 Northwest 37th Court, and 4070 Northwest 37th Court, Hialeah zoned M1 Industrial District and legally described in Exhibit A. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Hello.
Good evening, Melissa Tapinas, 200 South Biscayne Boulevard, Miami. I'm here representing Waste Connections. I have a presentation if you would like me to make one today. I would like to thank the mayor, the administration, the city attorney, as well as all of you council members for working with us as we engage neighborhood stakeholders, business owners, and property owners in the area to proffer the strongest declaration of restrictions ever proffered here in the city of Hialeah. And we're going to continue to work with anyone with comments to make sure that this document does do what we say it's going to do, and for perpetuity. So thank you.
Yeah. Is there a presentation?
There is,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. Thank you. Would you like a USB? You have it. Thank you. Thank you. Next slide. So this is the property that's owned by Waste Connections. The portion of the property that's subject to our application is the property that is large, abutting the railroad right-of-way. So it is on the west side. Next slide. And let me orient you here. So to the north is the recycling facility. In the center is the transfer facility, and to the south, it's the administrative building. What's across the street is overflow parking and other types of uses to maintain this business. Next slide. The property has the land use and zoning of industrial and M1, where railroad passenger stations are allowed as of right. Next slide. Our request today is the special use, the variance, 2 variances, as was mentioned earlier, as well as the acceptance of the proffered declaration of restrictions that I just mentioned. Next slide, please. So this all came about because we are unifying the site as one through a unity of title, and that'll be the next slide that you see. And so our goal is to, since we operate one business on the site, the goal is to do a unity of title, which was recorded into the public records a few years ago. Next slide. So today, the property has 2 business tax receipts. The first is for the solid waste transfer station. That's the building at 4070, which will remain as it is today. Next slide. And this is the portion of the recycling facility that we're going to be discussing that we will be adaptively reusing into a intermodal facility. So this is the existing business tax receipt for the solid waste recycling systems. And as we'll show you in those, the next photographs, next slide, all of this area is being demolished. So all the existing recycling, what you see here, it will be demolished, and I'll show you what the plan is in the future. So in a few slides. Next slide. This is one of the historic type of remnant structures that we have on the site from when the property was used as a steel mill facility. Next slide. All of this will be demolished along with the sorting area for glass recycling. So all this is leaving, and one of the issues that we've been discussing with community stakeholders is that this recycling use, because most of our recycling in the city and the county is contaminated, that is where there's a lot of odor. Specifically, we anticipate that 75 to 85% of all the recycling materials is contaminated. So as part of the Waste Connections business, they actually have to manually sort through recycling and move it to the actual solid waste transfer station. That process, while it is every day, it is cleaned, it still remains that it is an issue. And we anticipate that it's part of the odor that we all sense at this facility. So the goal is to eliminate it altogether, and that is why all this will be demolished. So that's a major proposal as part of this approval. Next slide. So what we're proposing to do is what is highlighted in yellow. It is specifically the intermodal project. And all those structures I showed you in the previous photographs will be demolished. And instead, what you see before you is basically new paving and drainage. The whole site will be updated into conformance with today's zoning regulations, M1 zoning regulations, including paving, drainage, environmental permitting, as well as landscape open space, which we are increasing to 6.6%, where now it's significantly less than that, and 10% is required. The administrative building that is to the south, as well as the existing transfer station, will remain. Next slide. One more little click, please. Thank you. So, and I think you can click them all. It'll be easier that way. Thank you. So what this is intended to show is the life cycle of a container. These containers are state of the art. They're the containers that are used in New York City and utilized on barges throughout the Hudson River. So it is the most modern technology to contain waste. So the way that the process works, and I think it's very important to, you all have heard this, but it's important for the record that early in the morning, clean, sealed, and empty containers will arrive at the Waste Connections Hialeah campus on rail cars via the CSX Railroad and are removed from the rail cars and stored on site sealed. The next step is for trucks to arrive with full containers that are immediately lidded. In the operation plan, it provides for no more than 15 minutes, and they're immediately lidded and placed on the rail cars. The empty containers are unlidded and placed on the trucks departing the facility. And then in the evening, consistent with today's CSX schedule, the rail cars with the full sealed containers are sent to the Waste Connections Heart of Florida landfill, where they are emptied, cleaned, and resealed and sent back to the Waste Connections facility every morning. What's very important about this is you'll see further on in my presentation that this is a reduction of traffic associated with this facility. You can imagine that today recycling, vendors come and hauling recycling and they leave and then come back. So each one of those trips is 2 trips. And now in this case, we are just utilizing that one truck, drop off a container filled, pick up an empty one and move forward. So it is a reduction of traffic as conferred by both our traffic engineer as well as the city's traffic engineers. Next slide, please. So there is the declaration of restrictions. It is quite full of many requirements, but it's basically everything that we've said. It's important to record it in the public records, and we're providing significant damages if in fact they're not followed. And I'll go through these one by one. So first, the site is required to be developed in accordance with the proposed plans. We are required to comply with all DERM permits. We are providing for what happens in the future. So in the event that there is an increase in operation of more than 20%, not only do we need to resubmit a traffic analysis, but we would go through a zoning process as well. It would be up to the zoning official to determine whether that increase should come back to the city council for approval. We also are committing to annual reporting consistent with this covenant, specific property maintenance, fence and landscaping, a contribution to the city for the TOD trust fund in order to hopefully have one day a pedestrian crossing over the CSX rail right-of-way. We're also providing a development timeline as well as significant penalties for non-compliance. Next slide. So this is the proposed on-site improvements, and there's a couple perspective, and the next slides will show renderings of those perspective as we move forward. There is no new structures are on the site, so there'll be rail cars, rail containers, reach stackers, truck chassis, as well as the lidding and delidding areas with container loadings and a rail car mover. Next slide. And this is the process that I mentioned, and it's all part of the records, and many walk the site, so they're familiar with our operations. Next slide. So this is the view from the railroad tracks of the existing. And if you go to the next slide, you'll see what is being proposed. So it includes a wall, it includes landscaping, and of course, everything is behind that wall with the exception of the actual rail car that will be utilizing this area. Notably, this area already had a railroad spur. It will be upgraded consistent with today's regulations, but it has been existing at the site for decades. Next slide. These are the on-site improvements that we're proposing on Northwest 38th Avenue. That's our frontage. This is what's existing and what you would see from the public right-of-way, and you could see the administrative building and the transfer station to the in the foreground. Next slide. And here we're adding a new tree canopy as well as hedging, again, providing more landscaping than required by code because our space is only at 6.6% where 10 is required. So we're providing more of the street trees, et cetera, to go above and beyond. Next slide. I mentioned that we're a reduction of vehicle trips because of our operations. It's a modest reduction, but it's important to note it is a reduction. Next slide. We also ensured that both our traffic engineers as well as the city traffic engineers reviewed the mobility to ensure that all these uses are inside the property, meaning that there's no queuing issues that would require trucks on the public right-of-way. And this is part of that circulation mobility plan. Next slide. We also took it a step further and looked macro at the entire area because we recognize that the city is changing as our industrial area must be elevated to be more consistent with Hialeah in 2025 rather than what's been there since the 70s. So we wanted to make sure that these trucks coming into our site and leaving our site have a manner to exit and enter the site in a way that would not conflict with any of the residential uses. So this is our proposal for inbound routes, outbound routes, which has been recommended by your traffic engineer as well. Finally, in our next slide, in our declaration of restrictions, we've been working very closely with the community, and we included very detailed language about property maintenance and commitments. And in the next slide, you'll also see some of those that I mentioned, but in the following slide, you'll see the paragraph 11, the penalties for noncompliance. And this is something that we wanted to make sure that our intentions were reflected and memorialized into this covenant, which means that we're saying the storing of unlidded containers are not allowed on the property, right? The idea is that we're not going to have containers unlidded. That's prohibited. The cleaning of these containers will be off-site, as we've said, in the landfill in North Florida. There will be no leaking containers on the property. That is in this requirement as well. And the waste-filled containers on the property will not be exposed to the elements any more than those 15 minutes that I mentioned for the unlidding. Last, the loading of waste into the intermodal containers will occur only inside the solid waste transfer station. They will not be any other of this current situation that we have in the recycling, which is, the manual touching of this waste. It's going fully to these containers. And we've also included within this language a elevated civil penalties. So you can imagine that there are many uses that obtain notices of violation, and that becomes an enforcement problem, not only for the city, but also for the neighbors. So what we've done here is that if we have our first violation, in addition to all the city requirements, the first violation is $5,000, the second violation is $10,000, and the same goes. If no violation exists for 12 consecutive months, we start with the next paragraph that there is 5 violations in 5 years is the maximum. Otherwise, we're going to be before this council with a revocation proceeding for our special use. Of course, that's something that we will work very diligently to avoid. This language is obviously very powerful. So it took us time to get it right. We were concerned about, we hear of other local governments where code enforcement is weaponized. And that's something that illegal dumping happens. A lot of those things happen. So this language is one to protect Waste Connections as well as the city, but again, to ensure that we do what we say we're going to do. And the next slide just has the same language I just read off, but a little bit larger, and also provides that timing that's important to the city. We want to make sure that this is all modernize before we start seeing new construction immediately in our area. So that's our goal, and thank you for indulging me with this presentation. I'm available for any questions, and we appreciate your support and
Thank you,
working with
Melissa.
us on this issue.
Any comments and questions? I do want to make a comment. Thank you very much for working those ingredients in there. It's very powerful, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Through the chair.
Yes.
There aren't many people here present today, but I'll say this for the benefit of whoever may be watching online, and it'll be memorialized online. I'm familiar with this location for many, many years. I used to work as a police officer. They used to have a security detail of police officers, especially in the evenings here. It was a dump site. It was horrible. That you could smell the waste blocks and blocks away. Nobody cared because it was a depressed area, but we're trying to change all that. And this is not something, I don't want somebody to come out on the news later and say, look what Hialeah allowed, a garbage dump in their city. No, this exists. It currently exists and is allowed to operate as it's been operating before. This is going to be a vast improvement of that. Everything will be sealed. There will be no trash piles. This is not a garbage dump like people are thinking maybe, oh, it'll be mountains of garbage. Not at all. Sealed containers coming in and out all day long, placed immediately on rail cars and transported hundreds of miles away from our city. Nothing will be sorted on site. Nothing will leak on site. Nothing will be exposed. It will not smell up the area. It will be something way better, more modern. Dade County has never seen anything like this. And we thank you for improving this. You could have left it the same. You could have kept operating like this, but thank you for improving it vastly. And thank you for agreeing to the conditions where you're going to have severe consequences, real teeth, should you violate your promise that you're making to us of how it's going to be run. We are totally sure that it's going to be run that way because the ultimate risk is we could pull your license and it's gone forever. So this is a great project. Nothing new is happening. We're not creating a garbage dump. This is a transfer station that is going to vastly improve what is there now. And it's going to it will not discourage development on the west side of the tracks or development on the east side of the tracks in the surrounding area where this facility will be. So this is a win-win for us, for residents in Hialeah, and for the city, and I motion.
Thank you.
Can I have a second?
Second.
We got a 1 and a 2.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Mr. Junco?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for
Thank you.
August 12th, 2025.
Thank you. And if anyone has any questions about this use, please reach out to me. Any community members, we're happy to meet with them as we have been doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please just remember as a procedural note, if you do decide to reach out to Learn Council, that you'll need to disclose it. I don't mean at a meeting, but I mean, privately, okay?
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item 16F will not be considered at this time. The item is postponed for the city council meeting of August 12th, 2025.
Next item.
Item 16G, first reading will not be considered at this time. The item is postponed for the city council meeting of August 12th, 2025.
H.
Item 16H, first reading will not be considered at this time. The item is postponed for the city council meeting of August 12th, 2025. 16I, first reading will not be considered at this time. The item is postponed for the city council meeting of August 12th, 2025. Item 16J, the recommendation of denial will not be considered at this time. The item needs to be re-noticed by the Planning and Zoning Division.
Okay.
That's it, sir.
I do want to make a comment. Congratulations, Carl Zogby, for your seat for the next 4 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're done.
Thank you.
Thank you.